Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD. We closed at 232.89, and as you can see, we're kind of back in this zone here again at the 230.17 as support, resistance 233.48. So where are the trouble places? As of now, it needs to get back above those areas. So we're going to say it needs to get back above that 233.48. The ATR trailing stop is not far away at that 234.41 area. So if we break this, we could still have trouble in this area. As you can see, we were having trouble here, right? So breaking that brings us back to around the 236.30 area, which y'all see here. That's where kind of like where the body of those candles are, around the 236.30 area. So should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again. 240.37, 240.87, I'm sorry. And if we should break that level, we could possibly have trouble again. 243.91, breaking that 243.91 for AMD, y'all, we can make a new high, right? So if you're trading AMD to the upside, those are possible areas of resistance. Now to the downside, breaking this level of 230.17, we could possibly come back to 222.24.49. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between here. Breaking this level, we could very well come back to around the 219.89. Again, we could very well get stopped out in this area here, right? So breaking that, y'all see that 200 EMA, it could very well be support for us to 1890 around that area, which is really not far from the 219.89. So however, breaking this level, we could come back to around the 215.16. Again, here at 212.48, 210.34, and 208.36. So if you're trading AMD today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, not financial advice, right? So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 733.51. I always say, where are the trouble places? Looks like we got rejected here at the 738, only to come back down, find support at a level we kind of knew, that 732.33. Why? Because we gathered in this area over here before, right? So where are the trouble places for Meta as of right now? Let's say back to the upside, right? So if by chance we get back support, let's just say support as of now 734.34, and resistance somewhere around the 736.22, although we did have trouble here in this area. Yeah, I need to remove that. Okay, so if by chance we break back to the upside for Meta, I'm going to get that off. Okay, change this really quick. Yes. Okay, so if by chance back to the upside for Meta, breaking back above, let's say the 736.22, we could possibly have trouble again around the 736.55, not far away. Something did stop us here at 737, right? Something stopped us here. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again, 737.45. And should we break that today, 738.18. Breaking the 738.18 for Meta, the next level I have is 740.07, but keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between this area here. Now, should we break this 740.07 or 740, yes, 740.07, we could possibly have trouble 741.65, and breaking that 741.65, the next level 742.29, 743.15. Those are possible areas of resistance. Should we break that, 744.72, those are possible areas of rejection for Meta today to the upside. Now back to the downside, say for instance we break under this level here of 734.34, the next level I have marked 733.62, 733.06, 732.33, and you see we were at this area here, right? So should we break that 732.33, we could very well come back to 731, breaking that 731. That is where our 50 EMA is as of now. The ATR trailing stop not far away, 730.57. Should we break that, the next level here, 729.82, breaking that level 729.14. Again here at 728.54, and should we break that for Meta today, 727.77. So if you're trading Meta today, to the upside or to the downside. I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Why? Because in this market, anything is possible, right? So we are now looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 192.57. As you can see, we're going to mark a level here for NVIDIA because we have been making higher highs, right? So as of now, I remember price gathering in this area here. So I'm just going to mark that over to this, yes, area here as to why we're possibly having trouble here, right? So where the trouble places, support as of now 192.95, resistance was 193.68. Looks like we've come up beyond that a little. 194.18 could possibly be the next area of resistance. Should we break that, y'all, I have this area here of 194.50. I've had that marked for years, so I'm going to let that stay there. So 194.50 could be a rejection area for us. Should we break that, the next level I have is 195.32. Breaking that 195.32, the next level I have here is 195.95, and if we break that, we're just making higher highs, right? So if you're trading NVIDIA, I say trade carefully, y'all. So back to the downside, if we should break under 192.95, the next level I have is here 192.20. Breaking that ATR trailing stop is forming at that 190.182. Should we break that level, 191.30, 191.04, 190.44, here at 190.02, and if we should break that, y'all see that 200 EMA is right there at a level that we have marked around the 189.60, 189.67 area. That could be an area of support for NVIDIA today, and breaking that level 189.28, and again here at 188.92. should we break that level, 188.23. so if you're trading NVIDIA today to the upside or to the downside, y'all know I say it often, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed, right? So we do have a few inside day candles for today, meaning if we break above this level, this is the possible target. Apple was on that list for today, and as you can see, we've already broken through that trigger. 255.38 was the trigger, 255.01 was the target, as we have made a pre-market low thus far at 253. Yes, so Apple is under that as of now. Now, can we go back to the upside? We very well can. If Apple should break above the 257.44 area, we have an upside target today for Apple around the 259.13. And again, that is, nothing is guaranteed. Let's say that right. So Apple does normally move about $4.35 per day. That is the ATR. So if you're trading Apple today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully. Bank of America, BAC, is also an inside day candle for today. Let's say we break above, we are already under that trigger and at the target. Let's say that. So the trigger to the downside was here at the $50.13. Our target today was here at the 49.88. I need to get it right. 49.88. Now, if by chance we make it back to the upside for Bank of America or BAC above the $50.91, upside target 51.33, and let's see how much Bank of America normally moves, 89 cents per day. That is the average true range or the ATR. So if Bank of America is something that you trade, y'all, I said often, trade carefully. So let's go look at the SPY today just to see where we are. We closed at 671.16. What's interesting is we bounced off of the 670.66 area. We were here, right? So we bounced from there only to still, we could possibly use this area as a resistance, 672.22. Should we break that, 672.51, and breaking that brings us back to 672.66. And y'all see that ATR trailing stop is at that 672.71 as of now. Keep in mind, this could be a strong area of resistance for us, right? And as you can see, we were here before, right? So breaking this level of the 672.66 area for the SPY today, we could very well come back to around the 673. I'm going to mark that here. Why? Because price gathered in this area. Something held us up here before that 673 area. Should we break that, I'm going to use this next level. Let's say, well, it's really close. So let's use the 673. And then if we should break that 673.61, breaking that 674.06. And should we break that, 673.94 and then 674.06. So if you're trading SPY to the upside today, those are possible areas of, resistance, possibly, right? Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So back to the downside, we would need to get back above the 671.86 area. We could possibly find support 671.48. We knew that here, right? Breaking that, we could very well find support again 671.23, and breaking that puts us under the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart, but we can still find support at the 670.66. As you can see, we bounced here, right? So should we break that 670.35 and breaking that level 669.85, should we break that, it brings us back to this little zone here, as I would say, here, right here at the 669.45. Should we break that 669.45 for the SPY today, we can come back to around the 669.01, and breaking that for the SPY today, we could possibly come back to 668.58. So if the SPY is something that you trade today to the upside or to the downside, mark your levels, and once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out, right? So we are now looking at Tesla, and I say it often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 439.54. As of now, we've made a pre-market low of around, let's see, 432, that 432.80 area. We bounced from there, so move back to the upside only to have some areas of resistance, kind of where we knew we could possibly have trouble here. So resistance 437.71. We can say the support is around 436.19. So back to the upside, we will need to clear this area here and above that ATR trailing stop. So we have the 200 EMA, a level that we have marked, the ATR trailing stop. We have some strong resistance for Tesla in this area, right? So where are the trouble places? 438.42 could be a rejection area, breaking that 439.27. Should we break that 440.41? I remember that. Should we get back above that 440.41? It has been strong support for us. Now it is our strong resistance area. So breaking that brings us back to the 442.29. Should we break that, we have a few layers ahead. 443.78, 444.35, 445.02. and here at 445.84, breaking that 445.84, I have the next level of 447.06. So those could be strong areas of resistance for Tesla. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under the 436.19 area, we could very well come back to 434.54, and under that we can find support again. Something stopped us here for some reason in this area of 433.50 area. Should we break that, we could very well come back to 432.22, and breaking that 429.98 or 429.99. Should we break that, 428.60 has been an area of support for us, and breaking that on yesterday was interesting, right? So should we break that 428.60, the next level 428.01, 427.26, 426.43, 425.70. There's a few layers there. So let's say under the 425.38 or 425.39, we could very well find support again, 423.25. So if you're trading Tesla today, these are possible areas of support and resistance. Now breaking this 423.25, possibly 422.22 for some reason. I remember that number for Tesla, so it could be a strong area of support for us. Breaking that 420.99, 419.71. It looks like Tesla is getting, possibly rejection here at this area. So again, not financial advice, trade carefully, right? So this, y'all, is what I see when I look at the market, and I say it often, y'all, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, and for you to have the discipline to execute your plan, making sure that you have a plan before going into the trade. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.